Welcome to this live stream. Let's see, I think everything is up and running here. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that I've been up to lately. So hopefully you may have seen the live stream over the weekend. So I did a live stream on Sunday, which I'm trying to do as a sort of regular thing around 10:30 in the morning Eastern time. And let's see if I can get on the live stream around midweek, so Wednesday or Thursday. I think I've been doing kind of Thursday recently, but I'd like to get into a regular routine. But I'll be checking out the chat, so if anybody wants to say hello and talk to me about what you're working on, what you're playing, and all that. I decided to put together a podcast this week on hello, Rafa. Hello from Spain. Wow, awesome. Welcome. So I did a little bit of a podcast on Alone Together. And we've got a minor kind of tune for the most part, but it has a kind of different number of measures than a lot of tunes do for the A section, and then it goes minor and then ends on major for those A sections, right? So kind of landing that, and it's a good tune for learning, minor. You might find minor a little more challenging than some of the major tunes. I don't know. Let me know what you think there. But so some information that you want to have going. The melodic minor is a really great place to really just try to think about the tonic minor kind of sound, right? And then on the dominant 7, nice way to play is kind of let's call it Phrygian dominant, and that is a mode of the D minor, harmonic minor. Okay. So notice that sound is a little more compatible, right, with the A7 flat 9 than it is with the, let's say, D minor 6, right? Because D minor 6 has a natural 6 versus flat 6. So when you play D minor 6, think about melodic minor, also the minor kind of Dorian sort of sound. Right, so there's really just that difference between the flat 7 versus the the major 7 there. So a really fun tune to play. I would highly recommend it if you haven't already played it, and it will, get called sometimes. So I would definitely recommend it. But let me know if you have any experience with that tune, and maybe I'll do a chord melody or something on that tune. But I have a few tunes considering. Mercy, 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 and that was suggested here on the live stream. And then thinking about doing some weird shorter tunes, maybe Footprints. So I think that would be pretty cool to do as well. So I'm gonna see, do a little noodling, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'll be hanging out for about 25 more minutes or so. Hopefully the screen works. Song for my father. Yeah, I did a video on that one. Yeah, okay, cool. Beginner at jazz guitar. Cool. That one is a good one as a beginner to maybe improvise on. The melody is a little bit, maybe a little bit tricky. Trying to recall it right now, but I think I do have a melody video on that one. I'm pretty sure I did that one. But yeah, that's a tune. Not too hard to improvise on it. Can learn a lot from it for sure. So yeah, great, awesome. Yeah, a song for my father. I should do maybe a podcast and include that. I've been trying to think about how I want to do the podcast, and do I want to kind of feature a tune for a full week, or do I want to maybe do a variety of tunes? So far I've been just kind of picking one tune for the live stream, or for the podcast, I should say. We'll mention too that the channel, it's been a long time. I think it's 9 years since I started, but I've had some ups and downs productivity wise, but tried to be fairly consistent putting things out, and so we're getting close to 10,000 subscribers. So if you've already subscribed, I'd like to just give my appreciation for that. Nice thank you for being a part of all this. So it's kind of exciting. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit of static going on. Let me see what I can do about that. Okay. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Rafa says the content's so good. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for that. I really appreciate it. It's encouraging to hear. One thing I've been working at learning over the years is really how to kind of record and put together recordings. It's a whole world that I'm still working at, kind of figuring out just how to get a nice balance. So sometimes I think I'm getting close to some good products, but good production as far as audio goes, and so I've been learning a lot, and I think it's just going to be kind of an ongoing thing, but giving putting together backing tracks and getting it all to sound kind of together. So I've been pushing at playing on some of the shorts. So one thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe a little bit of Unity Village, and so I've been working at reviewing that a little bit this morning. So I'm hoping I'll put something out on that. And but sometimes I'm just doing like kind of playing, or like I did the other day, an excerpt from the podcast, and I did a few videos on playing kind of voice leading 2/5s, right? So just changing kind of one note, right, and using some inversion. So this would be a first inversion, D minor 7. Let's see if I can get the page changed over here a little bit. Right hand's a little out of focus. Sorry about that. So we've got, that's the note. When I was originally thinking about doing this, I was thinking, about taking like a D minor and turning it into a D minor 6. And if you look at a D minor 6, from the perspective of a G, or with a G root note, that really becomes a G9, right? Because if you had a G7, this would be a second inversion G7 chord. You replace the root with the 9 here, then that's a G9. So it all depends on what the bass is. Hello, Julian's Adriana Lee. How's it going? Thanks for joining. All right, so that that whole concept, and you can do this on many different strings, right? But I thought, well, the top four strings would be really kind of practical, right? Um, Eric says he checked these out. I'm so glad you checked them out. Yeah, almost, yeah, yeah, and that's the way I really like to think about chord changes. Is to think about kind of almost like individual voices. If you have six individual voices, and then you kind of pick four members out of that, and four notes, right? And you have this string holding the same note, this string holding the same note, and then this one just going down a half step, and then this one holding the same note. And one thing I think that will help folks with is um, you know a level of control, which is like not really changing a whole lot, or very minimal amount, versus maybe you do want to kind of change it all up, and move over and switch your notes all around, or you just really want to do a real altered thing on the next chord, right? And think about all that. And yeah, so I did two videos, or two shorts on that. One that was kind of the major version, and one was like a minor kind of version, which I use that term, I guess, to describe it. But this could also go to a major. So like you might find in some Cole Porter type tunes. Right. So we can apply the minor 2/5, kind of both to major or minor. You can resolve in either one of those kind of ways. And so a couple of things I'm thinking about doing shorts on. I'm Like I said earlier, Unity Village is a really cool tune that I've enjoyed for a long time. I get a lot of questions about the intro. And I was just watching a live version of him playing it, and he does do an intro on that, a live version as well. So I'll have to go back and listen and compare that to the original recording and dig into what he's doing, because I have had a lot of requests on that, but I haven't looked into all that deeply. But great tune. I've got a video on that, and so I'm thinking I might do a little something on this steel string, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just do it on this guitar. This is kind of my sort of overall utility instrument. Thanks for joining the live stream today. I'm not seeing a lot of folks on the mobile live stream, but that's just fine. I do have some folks on there. Okay, thanks. I just don't have a lot of comments or chats or anything. But I've been doing a little bit of both as we go. Linear improvisation. Pat Martino. Yeah, I think there's even like a book out there. I want to say the author was Bert Ligon or something. Someone trying to recall, but yeah, I mean, I think it's helpful. And I actually did a video on kind of the idea of playing. I think I had a simple line like that, and 2 2 5 1. So there are a couple kind of like things that you can do, and hopefully I'm talking along the lines of what you're mentioning here, but there's some things, especially playing 2 5 1s, where you can really outline those and connect, or do a flat 9, right? And then you're moving, through the changes like that, and then you can kind of go the opposite too, right? And then you can take that whole thing and just embellish it, so you learn like maybe 3 or something like that, lines that you can, right? And then you can embellish it, maybe play kind of approach notes, or play a more chromatic thing, or move through the line. So I would say that's pretty beneficial. But I'll have to look into Pat Martino. He was so amazing at being able to really kind of burn, I guess is kind of the word, right? But like just being able to consistently just play like continuous, and keep that whole thing going. But I've checked out some of his a ton of his playing, but I've checked out some of his books, and they're pretty interesting. I really kind of like the way he thought about things in general. Really kind of an incredible thinker, I think. From the concepts, and I always liked his ideas of playing an instrument, and exploring it in a way, and he uses the word toy, I think, sometimes, but and I like that, but of course you want to not take anything away from the instrument, but I like that. I think what I take from that is that you play with it, you play music, right? So so in your practice, just to try stuff and see what works, and see what maybe doesn't work as well. So I think that's really, really great. He really impresses me from so many angles, and also the obstacles that he overcame. I think he had complete amnesia on his playing, and had to completely relearn. So really incredible individual. And I think I talked a little bit about this idea of taking augmented triads, which I saw him talk about this in a video. Take an augmented triad and use it. So I'm here on strings 2, 3, and 4. So what's interesting about augmented triads is you can take this and you can call it E augmented, or C augmented, or G sharp augmented. But kind of the point is, you kind of take one of these notes and play around with it. Kind of like I was talking about a little bit before. Treat these 3 notes as voices, and then kind of play around with one of the strings. Take the E, make it E flat, and you get an A flat major triad. Take the E and make it into an F, and you get the F minor triad. And not only is that interesting in and of itself, but there's a connection between A flat and F minor, right? You would have a relative minor, relative major, key of 4 flats. So that's kind of cool. But you just kind of go through that, and then you start messing around with the 3rd string. So then you take that down a half step, get E major, take it up a half step, C sharp minor, and still you get that same relationship between relative major and minor. It's pretty cool. Key of 4 sharps there. And then this one as well. So you take the string 4 and lower it. Right? C major. Take this note, raise it. A minor. Right? So really cool, concepts, right? And one thing I think about practice, and I've been talking to a lot of students about this, which is practice versus playing. And so practicing kind of being things that you don't do well or can't do, and then you're just trying to kind of get that into the playing arena. And maybe there's some middle ground in there to just kind of play around with stuff. Rafa says, as a beginner, there are many concepts to learn in the path of jazz and a lot of information, but it would be very interesting to have a well-organized, progressive agenda for learning. Yeah, absolutely. One thing I've done recently, kind of in that vein, is checked out, or kind of just been directing folks towards some like learning resources, because I think I would love to do that in the long term, to create a path and create video courses and stuff. And I think I will do that. I'll see how this all progresses, but you might check out True Fire. I have a student who's been checking them out, and I've recently become an affiliate of them. So you might check out some of their learning paths. I don't know that it's in the description of this, but I have been trying to remember to put those in the description on some of the shorts and stuff. So you might check out a little bit of that. But I definitely hear what you're saying, and kind of to put it all together. It's a challenge, for sure, but so worth it, and so you get the chords together, get the chord scales, and learn the notes. Learn the note names over the whole fingerboard if you haven't already, and be able to play in keys. And one thing I would really recommend is you see the 2-5 progression come up so much in jazz music that I'd really recommend focusing on that, being able to play that, in a melodic way, as well as in a sort of harmonic way. Any tips for bossa nova? The one thing I would say is try to learn how to be able to play on the weak beats really well. Juliana says hi. Hello. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Learn, maybe even just learn to maybe count in twos, maybe learn to play E and a lot, or play 1, 2, 3, 4 and play on the and. Oh, you're welcome, Rafa. And then learn start with a real like basic comping, you know. Just really, you know, get that real basic thing, and then you progress into more other types of comping patterns. But I think, you know, to really just start with a very basic pattern like that would be really beneficial. And then also work at playing voicings, very similar to the Freddie Green kind of things that I talked about on the Days of Wine and Roses videos, although that's more like a swingy thing. But um, to, you know, work at voicings that use a lot of strings 6, 4, 3, and 2. Right. So those are, I think, some really nice helpful things to maybe think about. You know, see how many voicings you can come up with through a tune. You know, do how insensitive, Corcovado, and try to learn all this stuff through tunes. That's my recommendation. Try to learn. Yeah, just kind of play through tunes. It's kind of hard to just sit in the theory world, I think. You know, exclusively, you know. So, all right. Yeah, so Tom Jobim and Baden Powell. Yeah, I've done a few Baden Powell like videos on the channel. So check those out if you can. Well, I've got to get going, y'all. Thanks so much for chatting with me. It's really so incredibly helpful. You know, the chats, and kind of really helps me out a lot. Otherwise, I'm just kind of sitting here saying things off the top of my head, which I'm sort of doing anyway. But thanks so much. It's much appreciated to hear all these chats and comments and questions and statements and stuff. So thanks again, everybody. Got to get going here for today, but I will see you all very soon. I should be on, if all goes well, on Sunday morning Eastern time, sometime around 10:30, most likely. All right, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day and a great practice session.